Okay guys, Tron fan 20394 here for the second review of the day. This one's going to be about Tron Betrayal. Okay, I picked this up at Disney World. I picked it up at the Epcot store. If anyone knows where I'm talking about, it's the big one, the big store in the middle of Epcot. So, picked it up there for $9.99. I'm going to show you the cover art real quick. Give you the back. I'm not really big into comics. I mean, I'll read the Star Wars Infinities are my favorites, but I'll read comics from time to time. And this one is excellent. I think the story was good. I think they handled what should have been. I don't know if they made a second movie before Legacy. If they made a movie before Legacy and after Tron, this one would be a grade A script, and it would just be perfect. Anyway, to the comic. It starts out with like a quick couple. It's about a 12-page prologue, and it gives you a quick recap of what happened in Tron, the first movie. And I thought that was pretty cool because the storyboard, or not the storyboards, the panels looked great. I mean, there was like his battle with the other program where he refused to kill him, and then the light cycle battle takes up a full page. The death of Ram and such, and then you get this, and it's such a big change. And I thought that I don't know. What I really think is they did that great because they show you what the grid looked like, and then they show you the grid, and it's just it blows you away, and I guess that's what they were going for, and they kind of succeeded. But anyway, it goes through the year after Flynn gets all of his stuff back from NCOM, when Dillinger gets kicked downstairs. I say a lot, I know, I'm sorry. Let's see, Dillinger gets kicked downstairs. Flynn is now the CEO of NCOM. It's 1983. And he's created a new grid with Tron brought over from the old grid. So Tron is his buddy, and he's expecting a child with his girlfriend, Jordan. And he's having to run around from the grid to the real world to the grid because the isomorphic algorithms are created, and he is blown away by them. And I'm like, oh, and I'm reading this going, okay, so now he's going to have to make something. Clue. He had to make Clue to handle what's going on in the grid, so he can be outside the grid. And like basically what Flynn told Sam in the beginning of Tron Legacy. So he creates Clue, and they meet the ISOs, and the ISOs create their big utopia, and it's going to be great because they aren't perfect. In like what Flynn said when he created him, you will create the perfect system. And Clue wasn't ready for this. Clue thought that the perfection was going to be great without the ISOs, and that perfection can only be had without the ISOs. So that becomes tension, and like throughout the novel, Clue is trying to like sabotage the ISOs, if that makes sense. So he's destroying the ISOs, and Flynn is running ragged, and there's two chapters, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And the scene, there's a scene where Clue and Flynn is talking to Clue about how the ISOs are kind of needed in the system, in the grid. But then he gets a call from his girlfriend saying, "Oh, I'm going into labor," so he has to rush and he meets the kid. And so he has the kid, sorry, excuse me. He has his kid. Okay, that's the end of Chapter 1. Chapter 2 opens up with the death of the girlfriend. And that was a huge, like, 180 from the end of the first one. And I thought that it was a great transition, because it now makes you think, or not, it doesn't make you think, it makes you go, oh, well, with his wife gone, he's going to go into a big spiral of, like, he's going to just downward spiral. And that's basically what happens the entire book. It goes to hell. Clue is getting stronger, and he's getting more power, like, and he's destroying ISOs. And that's going downhill. Things are going bad in the grid, and Flynn is just having a tough enough time running NCOM. And the entire thing just goes to hell, and I thought that it was a great 180 from the beginning, where everything, it couldn't get better, I'm having a kid, this is great. I mean, I'm running the grid is getting better, these ISOs are magnificent. He has the kid, the wife dies, it train wrecks, and I thought that was brilliant. So Clue is trying to destroy the ISOs, and Tron catches on and calls Clue on it, and I mean, it was just, I'm not going to spoil the ending of this thing, because this thing is really, like, you already know how it's going to end, but it's really interesting. What I liked is there was a subplot, not really a subplot, but a subtext, like little boxes that characters weren't saying, that wasn't describing what was on screen, on the page. It was basically telling you what Rome was, and they compare the grid to Rome, and I thought that was spectacular. Reading that, like, it's saying things like Rome wasn't built in a day, and then, like, it was built over time, founded over rivers, and like, in the first part of the story, it keeps going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And then you turn the page, you see the wife died, and then there's a little box in the corner that says Rome fell in a day. And I thought that was the best. I thought that was the best analogy for what happened. So anyway, Tron Betrayal. If you want to pick it up, go pick it up at the library, read it. You'll enjoy it. It's a good read. It'll take you about a day. It'll take you a day. If you want to keep reading it and, like, understand it fully, it'll take you about 2 or 3 days. But yeah, I mean, Tron Betrayal is one of my new favorite graphic novels, up there with Watchmen and the Star Wars Infinities. So yeah, I mean, take care, guys. I'll have another review coming up in like a couple minutes or a couple hours. I don't know. But yeah, so peace out, guys.